welcome back to Salty Sunshine where we shoot the salt. How you doing, Mama?
Welcome back, everybody. I'm good. I'm, detaching from TikTok after the hurricane aftermath because it's been nothing but foster dogs over foster dogs. You want to laugh? So everybody went and fostered dogs during the hurricane so they wouldn't be alone and scared and flooded. And mostly, I'm trying to look at the dogs in Miami because I'm in Miami. And I've been following, there's been so much content, and I've been following so many that I follow this one dog, Midnight, and this girl that's fostering her and loves her, and I think she's going to keep her maybe. She's always in a vest and a sweater and everything. And I'm like, why are you always aren't you in Miami? Like, it's 100 degrees. And apparently someone commented, no, she's in Michigan. But I thought the same thing because I've been following all the dogs on Miami foster TikTok too. So, oh, you're not even here.
Right, I just assumed everyone was.
I'm obsessed with the dogs. There's so many stories, so many dogs I'm obsessed with and invested, and it's tearing my soul apart because one girl's crying because the building won't let her keep fostering, and she's obsessed with it to foster dogs. But then obviously, you feel bad taking them back to the shelter, rips your heart apart.
Yeah.
But they do need the fostering regardless because it's a break and it brings out their personality and they're more adoptable. If they keep shutting down in the shelter, they're, whatever. But it's that's all I've been watching. Hurricane aftermath drama. That guy or the person that left that dog chained to the highway, remember?
Yeah, he got arrested.
He got arrested. They found him. I'm so elated. Let that be.
I know. I love that he did that.
Oh, let that be a message to all the people that are so cruel that they want to do that to their dogs. So
I know, justice was actually served for once.
For once.
I thought you were going to say that you had to get off TikTok because you are one of the people who fell for the terror of Milton, and it wasn't even that bad.
What are you talking about?
But it wasn't as bad as they said that it was.
Brianna, first of all, thank God. But second of all, it is that bad, and people still have...
No, it was not that bad. It was not as bad as they said it was going to be, and that's a fact. It was not a Category 5. It was not a surge. It wasn't any of that.
Well, they never said it was going to land as a 5. They always said it was going to land as a 3, but people got nervous because...
10-foot surge.
Okay, Brianna, there's people that still have no power today. You know that, right? I feel like there's so many people just look at the people maybe in a certain part of Tampa oh, that's not that bad. It was that bad. It was actually really bad. And there's the tornadoes before the hurricane were even worse. There's trailer parks that have been destroyed and people died. It's really bad. No, I'm serious. There's a lot more than what they're showing.
I know, because you're still on TikTok.
But it's bad. It's really,
really... People dramatize everything. Yes, it was bad. But the entire town should have waited in traffic for a day. That kind of bad to get out. Probably not.
Yeah, because all their homes were flooded. So yeah, their pets and them were in danger. There's a lot of flooding.
Ankle.
Well, other people were too. It was bad.
I know, but I'm just saying you're part of the dramatics.
I'm not part of the dramatics. I think people should have evacuated, and I think
the waist and the ankle right.
I really do think that, and also, Mother Nature could do whatever it wants, and it could have been even worse, but it was really bad. But the other hurricane drama, did you see that whole thing with Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
Oh my God, get him off my...
He survived on a boat.
Can I tell you? Because it didn't hit direct in that area. Hello? It went more south. That's why it saved that area, but other areas were destroyed. Like Fort Pierce. It didn't hit direct where they thought it was going to hit. But that guy, you know how I feel about certain homeless people. If I have all the money in the world to help, I would help working people that can barely make it, as opposed to just people that just, want to be in a certain lifestyle on the streets, whatever. But that guy, from the beginning, I was like, this is off. This is off. And that guy, whatever his name was, Terrence, I forgot his name, the one that helped him and made him famous and all that stuff. Poor guy. I feel bad for him because he was actually trying to be helpful, but he did it with the wrong person, because that guy's just like a druggy guy.
Did you hear about his arrest?
Right, but also his kids came out saying, don't give him all that money. He's just going to kill himself with drugs.
Okay, that's not the issue, is that he does drugs. The issue is that he was arrested in multiple counties. He's been arrested like 10 times for like SA, like gross stuff.
Right. Well, I think a lot of them, they said they weren't sure how accurate all that was, so I don't know what's true, what's not true. But yes, he has some sort of record.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
multiple counties have that charge on him. I'm sure
But
some of
also-
it is true.
Right, but also substance abuse, and he was gonna like throw the money away. But long story short is the guy went and gave him, he raised like 7,000 in like Cash App or Venmo, but then he also did the GoFundMe. He gave him like the $6,900. He's like, he gave me $100 short. Yes, and I'm like, have you heard of fees? Like, you know, they always take fees.
Yeah.
He probably had the fees and gave you what was in there. Like that guy. That's how you. People are like, oh, these poor people. It's like, no, they're a bunch of bastards out there that don't want to lead a good life, and you give them a finger and they want your whole body. So the money left in the GoFundMe, which was like 30 grand or something, he's telling everyone, go in there and request a refund. I already talked to them. Like, I'm not taking the money out. Like, I'm not giving
it. Good. I'm glad he's not giving it to him after all
that. Of course not. Like, he was such an ungrateful jerk. And then, he was like, he didn't put me on the GoFundMe, and the guy doesn't even have like ID or something. That's why he just did it quick during a hurricane. Like, it wasn't like he planned it. And the kid he didn't take any of it. So that guy, Aiden Ross, which is like a gamer, you know who he is?
Yeah. He's going to get him a boat, right?
He was. Now he's like, forget it. I'm not doing any of that after he found out all the facts. And then he's giving that guy like some sort of deal to do stuff.
Wow.
I know. That drama is nuts. I'm like, get off my page. I want to see the dogs.
Wow, that's crazy. First of all, that he has kids. Like, that's kind of sad. Like, you see your dad end up that way. But second of all, that's crazy that, like, you should just take that money and go help, like, an actual family.
Yeah. You should help the people that are floating in their houses and like they're destroyed, and the animals and the shelters that need help and all that other stuff. Like, I hate that there was so much energy like put onto this guy that's like annoying.
Yeah.
But there was other drama too. There was this lady that had like this concrete house right on the water, and the whole thing was she's like, now you're really going to be mad. This is my whatever, like all this material stuff. She's like, my husband built this like commercial grade and nothing's gonna happen in my house. We're like millionaires. Like, she was just like this cocky lady. So another wasted energy on that, like all these videos.
Yeah, I was checking up on like 10 families during the hurricane.
I know, but it's kind of sweet that people care so much. Some people.
It is sweet that people even raise that much money for this random homeless man.
Yeah.
So people have good hearts.
I know.
Just wasn't put in the right direction.
I know. But, you know, what are you going to do?
There are some people, like in my head, I was like, maybe he's like a veteran and we don't really help our veterans these days. And maybe he's just, I don't know. But no, that's not the case.
No. But the good thing that a lot of fosters either got extended fostering with the people that were fostering, or a lot of them did get adopted, which that is a really good thing that came out of the hurricane. Like a lot of
you can give them back.
Yeah, it's so cute because like you think you see the Medley shelter, which is here in Hialeah area, and it's like an overflow shelter, no AC, just fans. It's a horrible shelter. It floods when it rains. It's really sad and depressing. You see that, and I know a lot of people, it's just like human nature. Like, you think the dogs are like, because they're 40 pounds and up, so it's like you think the dogs are like going to be vicious and not friendly and not happy or not healthy, and it's just not true. It's just like the picture it gives. It's like that feeling, but the dogs are so sweet and happy, and a lot of them are perfect. So I like that people got to see that side, that the shelter dogs, the dogs are like in bad shape.
I know, most of them are just depressed after being there for so long.
Oh my god, obsessed! They're just playing in the car rides, and it's just so cute.
No,
I know.
Really cute.
So last night was a Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yes, have some.
Not what it was.
So I read somewhere that someone was like, I think they're just testing the waters, and then they'll do a better show next year. I don't know.
Okay, the show wasn't bad. I enjoyed like the performances. I thought it was nice. It had like that edgy, rocky feel. I think the energy was good.
Mm-hmm.
Having Gigi Hadid open it and her walk, that was terrible. She looked like she was falling over. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
She had an icon do that, like one of the original, like the iconic Victoria Angels.
Yeah, she clearly didn't know how to work the wings, and if she couldn't do it, give it to someone else. I think they just wanted like the sisters to open and close the show, but it wasn't iconic.
Why?
It wasn't giving what they thought it was going to
They're
give.
not even real. They're not like part of the real angel group.
Right.
So
Yeah, I didn't like that.
yeah.
I will say though that I love the rock part with like the guitar. I thought that was cool.
Did you
I
see
love, like the screens coming down and like all the performances and that there were actually like dancers? I thought all of that was cool.
Yeah, the vibe was. There was a good show. Like the vibe was good. It was a good show. The only reason I say it was underwhelming is because of the Gigi opening. Didn't love that. Did you see when the rock and roll lady came out? The first blonde lady that came out. She's Kate Moss. You know who Kate Moss is?
Yeah.
Iconic. I flipped when I saw her. I'm like, yeah, I love Kate Moss. Like she is the epitome of the 90s. Like she was the it girl. She's the first super model. She's only 5'6" or something. Or 5, like she's the short.
Oh.
And she was so like everything that she just came into the scene and she took over because she was that good. Mm-hmm. And she was the best model, Calvin Klein, everything. She was the best model.
And she should have someone like that open.
Huh?
Should have someone like that open.
I don't think she could have handled those wings the way she was. She didn't do a good walk. Because she's older.
Can we talk about how no one did a good walk?
No, there was a lot. The professionals did a good walk.
Okay, but can we talk about how the majority did not do a good walk? I was like sitting there like there's no way they casted these people, and there must have been a shortage of people to pick from. Like no one must have auditioned because the walks were so bad this year.
The OGs walked.
Forget about obviously the OGs,
right.
But I'm talking about like there were only a handful of them. I'm talking about the entire show. There were barely any good walkers. It's literally all over Twitter. Like, why are these people
walking? Did you see the heels of some of those shoes? There were, you know, those pencil heels that are like a stick.
I don't care. You're a model. This
okay,
is your
but why
job.
look at the shoes? Like those shoes look so uncomfortable.
But other models do it. Like I'm just saying, like this is your job, and
it
you
was
know how to walk.
It was a really long way. Like that was a long.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god,
was a really long walk.
I was literally laser focused when they put those pin heels on. I was like, please don't fall. Like, wow.
Yeah, and if no one could walk in those shoes, they should have changed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The walks were so noticeably bad. It's crazy to me that they let that happen.
Yeah.
Oh, also, talking about the 5'6" height, there was so much diversity this year and inclusivity, and I still saw people complaining online about how there wasn't enough, like, short people.
Oh, my God.
I know. People find anything to complain about. It's crazy.
Cher's performance, iconic.
She's good.
She looks... Do you know she's, like, how old she is? Like, she's insane.
Yeah.
Cher's...
Been around for a while.
Hmm? She's 78.
That's pretty crazy. Some people can't even walk at 78.
Wow. Because it's not just, like, obviously you can get all this stuff done to your face, but, like, her body and the energy and all that, like, that's
voice, everything.
Wow. But no, I enjoyed seeing the iconic people from before and the whole energy, so I thought that was fun. The pre-show was like, whatever, it was kind of boring.
The interview?
Yeah.
There was one lady, not Olivia Culpo, but the other one.
Yeah.
And she is one of those, like, TikTok brain rot, the way she talks.
Yeah.
It's like, she just doesn't talk professional. She talks like a girly pop and, like, drags her words and talks like that the whole time. And I'm like, oh my God.
Isn't that funny? Like, I hear sometimes I hear podcasts, whether they have guests or whatever, and they talk like that. And I'm like, do you realize how I don't want to hear that. Like, I'll turn it off. It's like,
and they use like, and they use TikTok phrases the whole time, trying to make like jokes, and they're just like not actually saying full sentences. And I'm just like, okay.
I know. Sometimes I'll have friends or family, like if they're, you know, not even that much younger, but they're younger and they talk like that. And I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want everything to be like, you go girl. It's like all
that kind of stuff. And she did that the whole time. And I'm like, this is like embarrassing. This is a professional interview.
It's just annoying. It's like, this is not a real conversation.
Right. It's not a real conversation. Yeah. I had to skip the rest of the interviews. Like, I can't do this. So I didn't get to the part where Dylan Sprouse was interviewing.
I tuned out. I was tuned out.
Oh. He's adorable. I always think he's adorable with his wife. And he had like the pets there.
Aww.
He brought like head cuts of the pets for her.
They should have had dogs on stage. That would have been fun. That would have been so fun. Okay, before we get into Tell Me Lies and Love is Blind, caught up a little bit, because we're going to talk about that probably intensely. Let's just talk about the fact that the Montana Boys have a reality show coming out. Did you know that? Kristen Cavallari's ex with his little group are going to be on a reality show.
Okay, everything about them is just like trying to look hot and doing little dances. Yeah. And every time I see them in an interview, it's like very dull.
Yes.
Like, what are they going to do?
One of them, I forgot his name. I follow him on TikTok. One of them I feel is a little more lively. He has more of a personality. The one that's always in a hat, I feel like he can pull it off because he looks like he has more of a personality. The shorter one too, with the, I don't know if he has light eyes. I think he also, I think two of the 4 or 5 or whatever, they talk a little more.
Okay.
They can carry
the show.
Yeah. I don't know what the show's going to be about, maybe just following them around, but people probably will just look at them. It probably won't be that good though.
Yeah, it probably won't. Again, I see them in interviews, and the whole joke is how they're just like duds, like merp.
Yeah, but they can evolve. They can work on it.
I mean, yeah, maybe some personalities will come out. Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know when that's coming out. I also saw what else is coming out. Well, it just came on the 4th season, I think.
Outer Banks?
Outer Banks.
I've never seen it.
Are you serious? I didn't know you've never seen that.
Yeah, it looks like a little teenager show, which could be fun, but I just haven't started it.
It's cute, but this season, when you already feel yourself like detaching, I'm like, all right, it's been enough. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm already feeling like, okay, enough already. Yeah. It was a good show, though. It's very cute. But yeah, so Scandinavian sleep method. Have you ever heard of that? I read this article, and I'm like, that is exactly how I would want things. So it's basically a couple sleeps in the same bed, but they make it into 2 separate beds as far as like what they cover themselves with. So they have their own like, this is my section, this is yours, and we don't share sheets. Because when you sleep and you move, like,
yeah, and someone's taking more of the sheet.
You don't have that problem with the Scandinavian sleep method.
Interesting.
I love that. And maybe one wants like a cooling sheet and one doesn't, or one wants full and one wants thick, one wants thin.
I mean, some couples even sleep separately because it's such an issue of how they sleep.
But if you do that, it helps.
Right.
No, because you're like separate with your toppings. Your toppings are separate. I love that. Okay. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, everyone should do that. It's like great.
Yeah. I wonder how that would be with like cuddling though. You have to like put both sheets on top of each other for the start, I guess.
That's okay.
And you can't touch each other.
But who wants to cuddle when they're sleeping? You like that? I don't like that.
I know. We do, but I know a lot of people don't.
No, I don't want to be touched when I'm sleeping.
Or like at least just like something touching, like your hands, your leg.
No need. Because then when you move, I feel like you're waking the other person up, or you feel like you can't move.
No.
No?
I will say I move a lot in my sleep, so you just have to find the right person.
I feel like I move a lot, too. Not a lot, but like...
Someone who doesn't care.
I don't move a lot, but I do definitely move.
If someone was a sensitive sleeper, I could never be with them. Anyways, continue.
Oh.
Well, but just because I move a lot, and they would wake up all the time.
Depends what kind of mattress you have. Like, especially if you have a king bed, and you have a mattress that, like, you can even get, like, those good mattresses that, like, one goes up, like, you can adjust each side.
Yeah. That's like also Scandinavian.
Awesome. But the Scandinavian is more about, like, your toppings, not... So, Tell Me Lies. The finale's today. It just came out. I started to watch 10 minutes of it, and I turned off because I had to go. But let's talk about... Isn't it? I think it is. I thought it was.
Continue.
I thought it was, but you saw last week, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen this week.
Let's talk about through up to this week that we haven't seen yet.
Wait, sorry, 1 second. Did you see that this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, it's Wednesday. When did that happen?
No, it just came out. That's why I only watched a few minutes while I was drinking coffee. the biggest thing that happened, which was crazy.
Are you gonna spoil something?
Well, we're always spoiling it if we're talking about up to date. No, I'm gonna spoil from last week.
Oh, okay.
Not today.
Yeah.
So from last week, Steven sees the distance between him and Diana and has the epiphany that he loves Lucy.
I did not expect him to ever go back to her. I mean, I kind of did a little, but he really seemed like he liked Diana. And he was just messing with Lucy. But now he's like, Lucy knows who I really am.
Well, Diana is pulling back because of what she knows about him. And he's seeing that. He doesn't know she knows that, but he just sees, and he also sees that she's no good to him anymore without the dad's support and her not going to college.
Right.
So now he has
a huge factor why he liked her.
Well, that's why he left Lucy and went to her in the first place. So they can do that career thing. So it wasn't really about her.
Right.
So he tells her, oh, you don't really like Mimi, so I'm going to go back. So he leaves her. He goes to Lucy's dorm, and she is like, I can't with her. She just takes
so easy.
Yes. She just
she doesn't even like put him in his place and nothing. Like, she's just like, yeah, I love you too.
After what he did to her last time, I was so nervous that he was going to do it again.
He literally did this already and she fell back into the trap.
He humiliated you and you just closed the door and allow him in?
Insane. That girl has no self-esteem. But I guess it's college girls and a lot of girls.
Well, you're going to see how she wakes up this week, how she feels about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know they don't end up together. So,
right.
Like, they keep go forward to their future.
This week you find out why we already know they don't end up together, but you're going to see why her and remember that guy she met at the bar before when he first left her for Diana, that guy at the bar that she kind of dated? You're going to see why they broke up this week. Because you know how they go back and forth in time?
Yeah.
So you're going to see why they broke up, because we never saw why they broke up.
Who broke up?
Remember that guy last season that when Steven first left her, she kind of dated that guy at the bar? She had this little...
Not the guy who's like punched someone?
No, that's newer. The guy before him.
I don't remember this guy.
Oh, you'll remember him. So she had a little fling with him while she was with Steven, back and forth.
Gotcha.
So you'll see that. And then Bree with the teacher. Obviously, the last week ended that she went to a party at the teacher's house. She fooled around with him in the closet, which is insane. The house is full of people. I personally, I don't care how much you like someone. I would never do that. I would never. There's no way in hell you couldn't pay me to do something so embarrassing.
Seriously.
If somebody saw them, that's disgusting. Like, you look like garbage, like below the fungus on the floor.
Also, the guy being so stupid. Like, your life is about to be ruined if someone walks in that closet.
But guys that do that, he's done it a million times before. He's a walking scumbag, so it doesn't faze him.
Yeah.
But to be the girl that you don't want to look like a scumbag, that's devastating.
I mean, again, a college girl, young and naive.
I know, but I still would never. I've never been that in my head. Like, I can't. Anyways, and it was so full of people. And the lady could have been looking for him. It was right in the hallway. It wasn't even like a secret bag. It was like right in front of everyone. So then she goes back and leaves her earrings. That I can understand when you're like the other woman and you're young. Like, you do stuff like that, petty stuff. So she went back in there, left her earrings, and then the teacher shows up at class with the earrings. So everyone's like, oh my God, she knows. Obviously, it looks like they have an open relationship.
Wait, in my head, he gave the teacher the earrings as like a present. And so she doesn't know.
But they haven't said he gave her the earrings as a present.
They haven't said that she knows. In my head, she's wearing the earrings.
But the way she walked in the classroom and went like this in her face tells you that she's doing it on purpose. She knows.
Oh, that's not what I thought, but...
Well, that's what I thought.
We'll see.
But
I totally didn't connect
she's
that.
like relating. She's just like freaking out.
I also just like, ugh, I can't. Like, that teacher is such a nice lady, and you're still being like that, Brie.
That's what I'll never get. So here's the thing. I would like, if I like you, if I like you as a person, I'll never like, I wouldn't do it anyways. But I'm saying, like, if that were ever to happen, I definitely wouldn't do it with someone's partner that I actually like the other person. I could never. Yeah. If I hate you and you're annoying and you're a bitch, I still wouldn't do it. But like, I would think that would make it a little easier because you're like, you're an asshole, so I don't care. But like, the fact that she isn't is like even crazier. Second crazy thing, Wrigley and Pippa, they hook up. And they obviously don't go anywhere because Pippa ends up with Diana.
Right.
But I feel bad for Wrigley. Oh.
I know. I feel bad for Wrigley. But then he finally had his breakdown where he's like, I'm not okay. Like, something's wrong. So I wonder if it's true that, like, his brother is dead and he was just, like, going crazy.
Well, you're going to find out in this week.
Did you already find out?
I saw something about it.
Okay.
and then Lucy is like, again, total F up. She goes and pretends the brother attacked her. Like,
I was just about to bring that up. How she's such an annoying little brat. So annoying. This is why people don't believe, and this is so true. I'm sure your girls have done this before. Like, people don't believe abusers and like abusees because of this.
She could have defended the other girl without saying that. Like,
she literally could have said, I know someone that happened to.
Right.
She didn't have to say it happened to her.
Yeah.
Then it would have been true.
Yep.
And now we know why the girl, her friend, hates her. Remember, like, when they fast forward and she's like, I will never forgive you. It's because of that.
Right. So, yeah. So it had something to do with the brother and his dealings with women. But
her lying about it. She's so stupid.
I know. It's such a crazy, so this show is so good. I just don't like the idea of young people watching it because I think it's so dysfunctional that maybe it might look cool to some people and then they start acting like that. It's like, don't do this in real life.
I think people in college are toxic anyways and they're going to do what they're going to do.
But this glamorizes it a little for a young brain, no?
I don't think it glamorizes it. It looks like a pretty dark show. And it shows like how much everything gets messed up.
I know, but a young brain might think, oh, look, she's so cool and pretty. Look, and she gets away with it. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No? Good, because that's a horrible thought to think young kids are going to be like, okay.
I also do like the show because it's not so dramatic that, like, none of this can actually happen in real life. Like, I think this stuff actually happens to people in college.
Right.
So.
Well, it's a good lesson. The young girl with the older man, like, complete delusion, thinking, like, this is at all a good idea. It's never a good idea. It's never what you think it is. The guy's never, like, it's never worth any of that. So, stay away
he never leaves his wife.
And even if he did, he's not for you. And man age has no business with a girl your age, period, ever.
I know, 19. She can't even drink.
And he's a cheater.
Yeah.
So he's going to cheat on you.
Right. When he's done with you, he's going to cheat on you.
Yeah. I saw a podcast. I forgot the name of it. I love her. These two girls, I think they're funny. And she was saying, she's like, can somebody email the producers of Tell Me Lies and tell them to put more lighting? I can't see the show. You watch the show during the day? No. It's like, I can barely see it at night. I'm not going to see it in the daylight. Like, it's too dark.
That's so funny because most of the scenes are dark.
It's just like, it's so dark. Like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Like, I can't see.
That's actually really funny.
I know. Okay, Love is Blind. Did you watch anything since we spoke last week?
Yes. They're out in the wild, not in the wild, sorry, but they're out on their honeymoon.
Yes.
Okay, I just, like, know a lot of tea from looking online. I haven't seen it yet.
Interesting.
So, like, I know about the baby daddy and
Tyler.
the cheating.
Okay.
And, like, the kinky texts and stuff like that.
So you haven't seen... Okay, so Monica catches Steven sending texts, and while he was at a sleep test, he's like dirty texting someone.
Can someone please tell me what a sleep test is?
Because he has issues, like maybe he has like sleep apnea or he snores, so they're doing a sleeping test. Like they just test you while you're sleeping, and then like it's like any other medical.
So he was at the doctor's, what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. I was so confused every word. Like, he's doing a sleep test during a sleep test. I was like, what is a sleep test?
So
Okay.
after the sleep test, she finds all these text messages in his phone because they were making plans with one of the other couples, and they were texting each other. They've made plans, so because of that, they were texting back and forth with the other couple, and she found these text messages. And long story short, they have a conversation, and he admitted it. He's like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, like blah blah blah. So he was sexting someone in the sleep test. And long story short, at the end of the conversation, she's like distraught. She's just like, I can't believe this. I mean, he totally like conned her. Let's be real. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he told her about his last time that he cheated. And she was like, thank you for being open about it. And then bam, he cheats.
Disgusting.
And they've been dating for like a week. Like, you really?
No.
Crazy.
Like, you really? Yeah. It's like,
that's when you know they have a real issue. Like,
isn't he the one that they said somewhere, like they caught him saying, oh, you know how much ass we're going to get because we're on the show? Didn't something come out like that?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he was one of the people, like, sometimes these insecure guys that have never had attention, they come and they're like, oh, I can have any girl I want. Let's get to it. But
and also I saw this thing come out that he denied that he never had SEX with a dog.
Oh.
Apparently that's a rumor. So.
No. Well, when they were talking before this all happened, they were talking about like just innocent stuff, and he started like throwing out like weird shit. She's like, "Wait, what are you doing? Like what?" He's like,
"He's a little crazy."
He's like, "Well, if you want to peg me." She's like, "What? No, like what?" And he said, like he was saying like weird kinky stuff, and she's like, Where's this going? Like that wasn't even part of the context of the.
Yeah, he's a little kinky. He might have like a sex problem.
Oh, he does. He's kinky.
Yeah. But sure. You can be kinky, but just it's like overtaking his personality.
He was basically, if you want to manhandle me, if you come in and tell me to drop him, and she's like, yeah, I won't do that. He's like, yes.
Okay, I thought they were going to be annoying and weird when they got a massage, and there was literally that guy, or not a massage, the little acupuncture.
Yeah.
And they were like saying dirty stuff to each other in front of the man doing acupuncture.
I know, that was so weird. I was like,
weird.
And there was
couples don't do that.
They didn't show the reaction of the other person because I'm like,
because it was probably like,
ew.
Yeah. I didn't like them since that.
Well, at the end of that conversation, when she's like, get your shit, get out, whatever, she's like, but before you do, like, because apparently he lost his job. Right? They had this conversation about it, and she was helping pay stuff while he was like transitioning. And she's like, I need you to Venmo me every single penny I spent for your stuff. Right there in front of it. Like right now, get your phone and Venmo me. Boss.
Oh, good.
Boss. I love that.
Good. Also though, like, I know you're engaged, but you just met this man. Like, let's not spend money.
She should have never done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Get your credit card, call your mom. Like, that's not my problem.
No. Literally, I still just met, like, now.
And so she was on Biofiles, Monica. And Nick was trying to tell her in a soft way, like, because she kept saying, but he's a good guy. And he's like, is he? How do you know he's a good guy? Like, when women do that, and like, first of all, you can do bad things and not be a serial killer. It's like, this is not about what is good. Define what does that mean? That you don't kill people? Like, it just, he has terrible traits as a partner. So like, don't say he's a good guy because he's not.
He literally conned you. Like, what?
Right. He betrayed you, humiliated you, and wasted your time.
He was gonna take your money, and he cheated on you. Like,
yeah. So she was on Biofiles trying to defend, and they're still like in contact. She said. But not like dating, just like, I don't know what that means.
See, women need to have a little more of a backbone sometimes.
Okay, the next crazy thing that happened that you probably didn't see. Did you see Ramses and Marissa? And him meeting her mom?
Oh, no.
Oh my God, what a train wreck.
I saw stuff about how her mom was kind of mean.
No, her mom is vile.
Oh.
And the fact that first of all, her mom has like 7 kids, all from different dads, or like 5. All her siblings came and they said they were all from like different dads. They were dirt poor, and instead of mittens, they had to use socks. All this stuff, like poor, like horror, like very struggling upbringing. But the mom treats him like shit, insults his looks immediately. She was a bitch, and I was like, how is no one at that table saying like, cut it out? Like, I can't believe they allowed that clip to go on TV. Her mom was vile. Like, I would never want to be in the same room with her mom. She was a, like...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, that's
daughter.
Tough love from mom. I'm like, no, that was a horrible treatment to show your kids how you treat somebody that you just met. That's disgusting.
Okay, her knowing that her mom acts like that, though, I would not bring her on TV.
She shouldn't have... Yeah, she shouldn't have put her on. Not only that, Ramses is such a tool from what we've seen, and he was on my top 2 the last time we spoke, and he obviously is not there anymore because of the way he's been talking about her profession and condom use and all that. He's obviously like one of these fake progressive people that like shit the country they live in and all that. But her treatment was so bad and he handled it so well, it made him look good. Like, that's how bad she was. That's how bad she was. She was so rude, and he kept us cool and was nothing but respectful, which was shocking.
But rude in what way? Like, just like...
Like, he sat down and she's like, yeah, I don't like the way you look at the hair. What is that? What is... Like, she was mean. And she's like, oh, well, if she wants to... You got to sign a prenup because you're not going to take my daughter's money. Like, she's a bitch. She was just not nice. Her face was smug the whole time.
See, that I would not want to marry into.
She was mean and rude. I don't know how anyone is defending or trying to tiptoe around that.
Yeah, it was just straight up mean.
Straight up nasty. I would have crawled under the table. And she's such a light and a delight, the daughter. Like, how did you get like that?
Right. Like, the daughter's cute and nice.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, she must realize what her mom looks like. Like, how did she bring her? Crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Can we explain the condom thing? I keep saying that.
Because so they start talking about, like, when do you want to have babies? She wants to have babies sooner than later. He wants to wait. So that's how it started. So they're talking. He's like, she's like, well, I don't want to get on birth control. And he's like, well, I need to enjoy sex to have it, and I don't enjoy it with a condom. So there you go. And she's like, well, he's like, do you enjoy condom sex? She's like, yeah, why not? Like, it's great. It's fine. And it's also peace of mind. So he's like, for me to do it, I have to enjoy it, and I don't enjoy it. Like he's just like offering no solutions, and he's just like blanket, like, I'm not going to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to do it like that. What's the point?
Right. And that's what I was thinking about him not being as progressive as he like says he is, because like telling a woman like, you have to be on birth control.
Go get a vasectomy and get it reversed then when you want to have kids. Instead of me putting chemicals in my body that I don't want to do, because a condom is actually a very great, normal, viable,
effective way with no chemicals.
Yeah. So.
Oof. So all the men are trash this season.
He's just very my way or the highway, and he's like, even with the army thing, he's like, doesn't support. He's like, he would divorce her, like, if she went back. It's like that's a whole part of who she is. That relationship was a no-go the minute he said that. Like, you're disrespecting a whole part of who she is.
Yeah, I did see that too, and it's so weird because he knew that from the beginning. Like, why did you even date her? I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
They have all the facts in the beginning, and then they complain about it later.
You know, I know why they do that, and especially men do that, because I've seen it so many. They'll tell you like, oh, I'm not sure if I want more kids. Knowing they do not want more kids, they get you in the door, they hold you there, and then they're like, no, I don't. I changed my mind. Like, they already have you, so now they like spit on you because that's how they make you stay. It's a manipulating tactic.
Yeah, it is manipulation.
It is.
They want you to fall in love and then have a hard decision of like, well, is this going to be a make or break?
Yup. So, Hannah and Nikki D. So Nikki's
kind of mean. And I don't think she means to be mean, but she just like belittles him.
I think her being on this show is definitely going to help her see that, because, you know, when you see yourself on TV. So she was on the Vial Files too, and they were telling her, she's like, yeah, I got to work on stuff. My delivery's terrible. I'm harsh. Blah, blah, blah. So she knows.
End yet?
Huh?
Like, people are on the biophiles?
Yeah, and they were saying people need to stop doing that because it's the same thing with Bravo and reality TV. There's too much social media going on while the shows are on, and it's like you're spilling it's too much outside stuff, and it's like messing up the shows.
You would think they would have a contract that they can't interview until after.
That's so true. But they're kind of promoting it. They don't give stuff away.
Oh.
At least not these two. Like, they kind of talk about things we've already seen. Like, when Hannah was on, Hannah and Nick are not together, and we know this because Nick slipped, and the paparazzi or reporter asked him something, and he let it slip, like they're not together. He said something, and so she didn't say that on the Biofiles because you're not supposed to give away stuff that hasn't aired, but he let it slip.
I wonder if he's gonna get like sued for that. That literally just ruined part of the show.
I know.
But yeah, she like belittles him.
You're gonna see in these new episodes that you haven't seen, like Nick, she meets his parents, and I really like his parents. They're so sweet. Like that, I can see why Nick is like lovely. Like, he has an even temper. He's cool. He's not like, he's cool. Like, even if when he's insulted, he keeps his cool. He's a nice person. You could tell he's like nice, but you could tell it's because his parents are so nice. Oh my God, those guys. But they coddled him way too much. He lives at home, and so when they're living together, she's like more like she's had to do she got cut off. Her parents are fine, but they kind of cut her off, and she's had to hustle. So she's one of those independent, like, why don't you know anything? Like, you're like useless. So she's cooking, and she's like, why don't you boil the water for the pasta? And he's looking for the pasta in the fridge. In the fridge. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know boil water.
That's an issue.
He's like, how much water do I put in the pot? Do I put it on high? Do I put it on medium? The guy's never picked up he's way too coddled, which is not a crime.
That's the next level. Don't know how to boil water.
No, he was looking for pasta in the fridge.
Okay, that's like you're marrying and taking care of a child at that point. Like, I totally understand.
His parents are to blame. His mom has to fix that because it's bad. But I rather a guy like him. That's fixable. Like, that's easy to fix. That's not. It's embarrassing at his age, but that's not like a character flaw. Like, he just has to learn how to get up and do it. So but his personality's nice. Like, yeah, I'd rather that than a guy that knows where the pasta is and is a complete mess of sexting while he's at a sleep test.
Right. Yeah, as long as he's like willing to learn, and you see that he's like, he understands that he has some growing up to do.
I mean, it is jarring. You're like, what are you doing?
No, it is.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that's embarrassing. I would kind of get the ick if
I would get the ick.
Didn't know how to boil water.
Seriously. Or where the pasta is stored.
When they first got out of the pods, again, she was kind of mean. Like, she was like, I expected him to be bigger. Okay, she talked to the pods about how she was a cheerleader and dated like football guys. So I think she's one of those people who like peaked in high school and is like stuck in high school because she's like talking about how she was dated like the hottest guys and whatever. And she's not like.
She's like this girl that I know.
Gorgeous or anything. Like.
That they're like, oh, I'm not going to date him unless he's this and this and this and that. I'm like, have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah, like, she's saying all these things about him, and I'm just like.
It's like, you're none of those things. How can you expect, like, you're not that. So why can you expect that from someone else?
Right.
They don't see, yeah.
Even though she did say multiple times how she was, like, insecure about if he was going to like her. So.
And like, she brought up her weight. She's like, I lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So she did give him, which I thought was ballsy, because I'm like, oh, because they're already thinking, oh, she has a weight issue. But she said it to two guys. She said it to both of them.
Yeah.
So she did do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy.
No, it is.
Talking about his looks. He's like cute. He's fine.
He's perfectly fine. And he's taller than you in your heels. Like, he's fine.
Yeah, she's like, I usually date like a 6'2" and like okay.
I know. If she
was a little delulu.
If she would have ended up with Leo, that would have been the greatest TV. They would have hated each other. That would have been nuts.
That would have been nuts because he also would have like given some. Because Nick is really nice, but then Leo would have actually given back some drama. And I feel like they probably would have made it because Leo and that girl didn't make it because she probably called it off. She did not like him.
Right.
Yeah.
But Leo, I caught him on something on one of his socials, and he's talking about his Rolex. He's like explaining all. I'm like, get off my screen! You're so stupid.
Ew, he's so gross.
He is gross, and he's not cute.
It was so funny when she was breaking up with him, Hannah, and then he goes back in and he was like, this was a mutual thing.
You're so on the same page. Like,
we're so on the same page. Like, he couldn't have been more obvious and just like pathetic.
There's nothing funnier than a guy like that is like so all over the place, so insecure, and they're spiraling. It's just so funny.
Yeah, he was spiraling.
And then, okay, so Taylor and Garrett are the sciencey, the good ones, the good match.
The little nerds. Yeah, I could tell they were gonna last and like be okay.
So Vial Files, apparently Garrett now looks different today, like on his current post, and his hair's longer and he looks like a hot piece of ASS. And everyone's like, oh, he's married because he wouldn't look like that as a woman. That says it's screaming someone likes you. It's screaming you're getting help. He's like, there's no way that guy's single. Like this, he didn't do this on his own. He's married. Spoiler alert. He's married.
That is so funny because that's so true. It's literally called the girlfriend effect when guys like blow up.
Mm-hmm. So funny. I was like, he does look so much better. Like he was always cute, but nerdy cute. Now he looks like Hollister cute. Hey.
No, they're both really cute and they look like good people. So
yeah. But who else? Oh,
the baby daddy.
That's Tyler and Ashley? Yeah. So Tyler meets Ashley's dad, and it was very heartfelt. I don't think they're a match, but it was really cute because her dad has like MS or something. Like he has this health issue, and it was really cute because they read a letter. It was like a whole thing. It was really cute. They probably won't.
Okay, I thought they were going to be a great couple also. They're going to be stable until he lied about being a dad.
Yeah, but he's a sperm donor?
No, apparently that's false, and that's what he's saying.
No, it's not.
The mom came out and she was like, he is not a sperm donor.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying he's a sperm donor. I think he was a sperm donor, but in an unconventional way. Like, he didn't go to a sperm bank. Like, he just, like, gave it to people he knew that needed it.
But there were, like, custody battles and stuff. You don't get that if you're a sperm donor.
Right. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It was not a regular sperm donor situation. It was people he knew that needed the help, so he offered it. But then because he knew them, and then the baby, he wanted just to be in the kid's life. So it kind of like cross lines because it's like someone and you're like, I'll help you out, but then it turns into like, well, they're my kids, so and I know they're here, they're right here, so let me be a part of their life.
Okay, but they're. Okay, if that's his kid, then he should. That doesn't make sense. Then he should have just said that.
Like it started off as sperm donor, but for people he knew, and then it turned.
I know, but they were saying there was a custody battle, and that doesn't happen if you're a sperm donor. Legally, there's no case.
Because he donated sperm, maybe not legally. Maybe he just helped the people.
But how do you do that without a doctor? What, he had sex with her?
I don't know the details. But I'm hearing so much stuff about it, and it's like an unconventional way to like just give your sperm out, but then it turned into something else.
Did they bring it up on the show? Or is it just like people off the show talking about it?
I haven't seen it on the show.
So I wonder if this is like an aftermath.
We'll probably see it in this week's episodes. No, he does tell her because the last group of episodes I saw that he's like, how many kids do you want? He's like, I want 7. She's like, what about 4? And in his head, everyone's laughing because they're like, well, 4 plus 3 is 7. Like he already has. But they were talking about it, so he hadn't mentioned it yet.
Right, but like, does this maybe come up after the show? Like,
no, I think it comes up this week on this week's episodes.
Okay.
I think so. But he probably makes it look like more of a sperm donor thing, and then that's why the girls are coming out saying, or whoever's coming out saying, it's more than that. It's sad because they are a good couple.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll work it out, but it is a lot. It's a lot to go through.
Yeah. But I did think that it went well together.
Who's Tim and Alex? Yeah, Tim and Alex, right? Yeah. Yeah. So Tim and Alex are the ones that like the guy's like dog, dog, dog. She's like, please stop saying that. He's like, he keeps doing it, or he gets a hat.
Oh, that scene was so annoying.
Well, he's pretty tidy, right? His house is like immaculate. She takes him to her house, and it is a pigsty. There's crap everywhere. She walks him in, and she's kind of like a content creator, maybe. So that she blames it on that, but it is piles and piles of crap everywhere. You would think she would tidy up a little. Like, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
And knowing he's so tidy. It was
I mean, how are you going to go on TV and not clean up a bit? She has no shame, which is even more concerning.
So yeah, I don't think they're a match.
Yeah, he must have been terrified. I mean, he could just do the chores in the house, I guess. But
it's just that they have no consideration for each other. They just like push each other's buttons. It's like, even if he wasn't like the tidiest guy, like, again, like, that's not a good look. Like, you have to present.
Right. If she doesn't care about the impression now, she's not going to care later.
And it was bad. It's like everyone's like, ew. Like, no. It wasn't like a little bit. It was crap everywhere. So that was the other couple. But we'll see what happens this week. And then the reunion's on October 30th. Right before Halloween. Spooky.
Yep.
We'll see. But yeah, I think it's a good season.
I like that the reunion is actually a reunion. It's like a year later.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. That's all we got for this week. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.